Hi, my name is Kim Goeltom, and I'm a certified master wellness coach through the International Association of Wellness Professionals, as well as the founder of the Empowered Living for Superwomen Program. I'm excited to be here today to be sharing with you 4 tips so that you can go back or start to create the you remember or wish to be. So let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was so busy, people pleasing, doing everything for everyone else but for myself. I kind of just put myself on the back burner. And I got in this habit of just doing. And I didn't take a lot of time to reflect. And there was a point in my life where I had told a close friend of mine, I need to make some changes and I need to figure out who I am. I had completely and solely identified that current version of myself a few years ago with only my work. Wow. That was the only version of Kim that existed at that time. There wasn't enough time for me to be anyone else. I had put everything into just this one identity. And what I didn't realize was that my goal to achieve, my drive to do more and to be recognized and to be rewarded had caused me to choose a path that was different from the real me. So for some of you, this might be a new discovery of who you really are. And for me, it was a discovery of remembering who I used to be, who I wanted to be, and who I knew that I truly was. And so it's creating that authenticity, that vulnerability that not only makes us shine even brighter out there in the world, but also inside. We feel so much better when we're truly reflecting inside and outside who we really are. And some people are afraid to do that because they're like, oh my gosh, if I do this, what if somebody doesn't like me? And I was in that same place not that many years ago. And sometimes it's easy to still slip into those habits, but here's the cool thing. When you start making these changes and you slip into the habit, you're like, ooh, I caught myself. Okay, what am I doing? Let's pause and let's take a reflection here. So whether you are on this journey for the first time trying to discover who is it that I truly am, or who is it that I remember being and I need to get some of that back into me, I'm going to talk with you about 4 steps that I use to remember who I was so that I could be me again. Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever felt like, oh my gosh, I just don't feel like me. I'm just kind of stuck in this time warp or in something doing X, Y, Z, but it's not really in my heart. It's not really in my soul. It's not me. And it could be that it was and that you changed. So my first step is take stock of where you're at and really take a huge step back and look, who are you? Who have you become? And is this the real version of you that you show the world? Or is it a different version of you? Sometimes we get sucked in. There's all these rules we're taught in society, rules we're taught in elementary school, middle school, junior high, high school, college, in the workplace, and the list goes on. And sometimes we can get lost in those rules and we forget, outside of trying to adhere to those rules, that there's still this peace, this authenticity inside of us. And what happens when you don't stay true to who you truly are inside? What happens when that starts to separate because you become a people pleaser or because you want to keep achieving, but still not in alignment with your real goals and intentions and who you truly are as a person? Doesn't mean you can't keep climbing the A ladder and doing more and more and more. You'll actually climb the highest ladder, as high as you want, when you're truly living in your authenticity of who you truly are, and you're sharing that version of yourself with the world. I learned that when I was so busy people pleasing and trying to do more and trying to achieve these things, that it wasn't actually in my heart. And that I was being this version because that was what I thought the world expected of me. It's what I believed at that time that the world expected of me. And so I'm sharing this with you because we get to choose a new path every single day. And we get to create our life, but we also get to make sure that we are being the most authentic person of ourselves, our version of us, and that we can present that to the world and not worry. And you know what? I've heard a few people say this, what others think of me, you know what? That's none of my business. That's theirs. And that's fine. We don't have to have the whole world love us or like us. We just need to make sure that we are following our path and that we love who we are, who we've become. And if we don't, we get to make a change. We're not stuck in anything, right? It's just like if you decided to take a shower in the morning, or if you decide, you know what, I'm going to take a shower in the afternoon. I'm going to take a shower in the evening. That's just one example of something that you can do that changes a little bit of you, right? It's all of our habits that we start creating, and then these beliefs of what we can or can't do that truly make us who we are. So are those habits that we've created a true representation of ourselves? So that's why my first step is to really take stock of where you're at and who you are and who you've become. And is that the you that you love and remember or want to be? Or is that a professional you versus a personal you, right? You can still have two different, distinct views, right? A professional you and a personal you, and still be authentic in both while maintaining privacy. So my first step. So now my second step, take note of what truly feels important in your life. And so you might say, well, how am I supposed to figure that out? And I'm talking about you. So think about what fuels you emotionally. What makes you happy? What lights you up? What gets you excited? What gets you motivated? That's you. That's when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm at home. And you can be at home anywhere. It doesn't have to be your actual house. But when you are being you, you feel at home everywhere you're at. So what fills you up emotionally? Think about it. If you haven't had time, then that might be something else to reflect on. What lights you up? And do you do any of that? And how much time do you dedicate to doing that? And can you do more of that? And how would that make an impact on you feeling like you and you living the best version of your life, your way? So step 3, create a mind map of all the qualities that you love about you, the things that you love, and start to discover the parts of you that you reveal, not only to yourself, but to everyone around you that you spend time with. And you might be wondering, what is a mind map? Take a piece of paper, and in the center of it, just write me. Okay? Just put me. And then just start drawing lines. It could look like a spider, it could look like a sun, a moon, whatever you want. And then do more little bubbles. And then start to fill in those bubbles. What are those qualities about you that you love? And then I would do a separate mind map of all the ones that you're like, yeah, I'm not so sure about those. Maybe those are going to go on my goodbye list. Maybe those are the ones that were the people-pleasing version of you. Maybe those weren't the ones that authentically revealed who you were. So find out. Do the mind map exercise. Start revealing to yourself who you truly are. What are those things that you've loved about yourself for so long that may have gone on the back burner? What are those things that you love about yourself that you still do, but you're like, man, I wish I had more time for that? Then do more of that, right? Life's too short to not make sure that we are living authentically and the best version of who we truly can be. And then my fourth step, do it. Take all these pieces that you learn about yourself, start showing the world the real you, who you really are. And you know what? Sometimes people say, well, fake it till you make it. Maybe it feels weird because you've been out of practice. That's okay. Fake it till you make it. Be the version of you either used to be, you want to be, you know you truly are, and just do that. So this is a great time, with everything that's happening in the world, where we've been kind of forced to slow down and kind of retreat and go inside and start thinking and reevaluating. So start thinking and reevaluating. Are you living your most authentic life? Are you revealing the true you to your friends, your family, your world? And if not, what's stopping you from doing that? And what can you do? What's one thing you can do to start revealing to yourself, to those around you, the real you? So if any of my 4 steps resonated with you, then I would highly encourage you to start with one of them at a time. And then just give yourself permission to let this process unfold. I wish you all the best in discovering or rediscovering your authentic self, and best wishes on sharing that version of yourself with everyone around you. They will be so excited, and you will be so excited after you do that as well. For more wellness tips, check out creatinglegacywellness.com. I have a whole free video wellness section on there. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.